Alright, so in the last video, I was talking about how Survive the Jive was, and other channels like Norse Magic and Beliefs will tell you about the historically accurate rites and rituals that that the Norse would do, uh, and that's what you got to do to be a Norse heathen or a Norse pagan. And I just kind of disagree with that because I don't care about doing rites and rituals. Um, I feel like in the past, when in the times that they're talking about, the only people doing rites and rituals were like either wealthy people or the nobility or like the the gothies and stuff themselves, the priests and whatever themselves, um, like me, like my life, I've lived in the suburbs, and like a year ago, I moved onto a farm, and so like now I'm out in a rural area, and I'm building a farm. I'm like building a big giant garden. I just like I got a bunch of chickens. I'm about to set up an area to get cows, and then I'm gonna get pigs, and so I don't think a person in my position in the past would be performing a whole bunch of rites and rituals all the time. I think they'd know about the gods, and they'd know the morals and whatnot uh, that they're like supposed to kind of live their life by. And I think that that's what they'd be more about, and that's kind of what I've always been more about. Um, and so that's kind of like what I'm going to talk about today. And I was going to use like Olive Bray's translation of the poetic Edda and other things, but I don't like the way it's not in contemporary English. So that's why I wanted to use Jackson Crawford's. And so I wrote a message to his publisher asking if there's any way that I could use his translations and it fall under fair use without violating the copyright. And they responded, "Thanks for your message. Commenting on a few stanzas in a row would fall under fair use, and you're welcome to do so. Best wishes." So, since in the Wanderer's Havamal, each page has four stanzas, we'll just do one page at a time, and we'll read the stanza and then talk about like what kind of morals or whatever I think uh, that you can surmise from that, because I think what like like you can do like, okay, I'm going to make make a reference to what everybody will be familiar with, because we've all seen people that go to church, or they're Christian or they're Catholic or whatever, and they do all the rites and the rituals, and they get baptized, but you know them because you went to high school with them, or you know them in their daily life, and you're like, that guy is a piece of shit, and he's faking it. He's doing all the praising and the singing and the worshiping at church, and then you know that he does things outside of church or outside of the congregation that is that would not fall in line with his religious scriptures. And so I don't necessarily think that doing all the rites and the rituals of the Norse religion are really like that important. I don't really care about going out on the spring equinox and breaking off uh, an evergreen branch and doing a blot. Like I don't care about that. I like to go out, and on those specific days, I like to go out on each full moon night and read something out of the poetic Edda, but I don't care about doing. But I mean, I'll do that on other nights too. But if it's a full moon and I'm able to get outside and do something like that, then yeah, I'll try to make a point of it. Or if I can do it between the 23rd and the 25th day of December, then yeah, sure. But if not, then I'm not gonna harp on myself about it, because I think it's more about adhering to the morals that you learn from the sagas and the Hávamál and everything that are more important than doing the rituals. Because you can do the rites and the rituals and still be a piece of shit. You can still be a liar. You can still break your oaths. You can still be a bad husband. You can still be a bad father. You can still be a horrible friend and a horrible family member. And while you do all those rites. But if you adhere to the moral code, then you're actually doing the deeds and walking the walk. So let's read these stanzas. At every doorway before you enter, you should look around. You should take a good look around, for you never know where your enemies might be seated within. Number 2. Hail to a good host. A guest has come inside. Where should he sit? He is impatient, standing on the threshold, ready to try his luck. Number 3. He needs a fire, the one who has just come in. His knees are shivering. Food and dry clothes will do him well after his journey over the mountains. Number 4. He needs water, the one who has just arrived, dry clothes, and a warm welcome from a friendly host, and if he can get it, a chance to listen and be listened to. Now, I think these first 4 stanzas are all about going to an event that you are expected at. I don't think this is about helping strangers. Granted, the very first one talks about going to a place where you never know where your enemies might be seated within. But I think this is all about going to a an annual annual celebration at somebody's house, where there are going to be people that you also don't know. And so I think that's what that part is about. But the rest of this is obviously, in my opinion, about a person going somewhere where he is expected. And then having hospitality given to him after he arrives, and friendly conversation in a back and forth manner. I don't think there's anything to really dig into with these first 4 stanzas. They're extremely obvious to me. There's nothing cryptic about them. It's, he needs water, the one who has just arrived, dry clothes, and a warm welcome from a friendly host, and if he can get it, a chance to listen and be listened to. I mean, does that not just sound like your Thanksgiving celebration with your family? Or any other holiday get together, like 4th of July or something like that? I don't think there's a lot to decipher from these first 4 stanzas, but I do like to stress the fact when I talk about these to people that I don't think it's about helping some random stranger at all. I don't think this is about helping the homeless that's addicted to drugs and having a freak out at my local 7-Eleven, making my life difficult. Um, I don't think this is about helping those people at all. I think a lot of people like to misconstrue the guest part of the Havamal into trying to convince people to help psycho drug addicted homeless people on the street that accost you and whatnot when you're just trying to go get gas or go into a 7-Eleven or the corner store. I mean, it's all over the city where I live. They make life impossible. And but yeah, I just like to stress I don't think that this part of the Havamal is about helping random strangers at all. I feel like this is in reference to a guest that is expected and knows either the host or somebody that has been invited by the host. And how when you have a guest at your house, I mean they're a guest at your house, you know that they're going to come, and you should treat your guests well. You should be hospitable to your guests. Um, and so that's what I think these first four stanzas about. And as the days go on, I'll talk about the four stanzas on each page and break them down as needed, but for the most part, I think they're pretty obvious. But you guys have a good night. It's almost midnight for me, and I need to go to bed because I've had a long day at work. So, peace out.